Moving stones, chopping wood. Mary had brought us some supplies on one of her trips back and forth from town. We prepared another campfire meal. I put on evening of coffee. Funny how it always seems so good to smell that brewing mud when you're out in the wilderness at night. While I was pouring myself a cup of that fresh brew, I saw another truck coming towards my campfire. He who barks at midnight and white hair had arrived. Two very familiar and very welcome Wolf Lodge faces. It takes a lot of work to set up these ceremonies up in the wild, and these two boys, well, we had a few under our belt together, you might say. They busied themselves setting up their camps and checking out the spirits. They were tired from the 9-hour drive, and the kids, well, they probably hiked 30 miles through those woods near the creek, and they were bushed. We would need our rest. There was a storm moving in, and we had a few days of hard work. We slept well that night and rose early. We wasted little time around the morning campfire, and he who barks at midnight, white hair, and I went off to plan the building of the lodge and the arbor for the ghost dance. Moving stones and moving them again. Gathering willow and firewood. Unseen heroes of the day. Still finding time to let our two legs take us to places where our eyes would see the little visions. The signs that tell you of the way of things and the possible outcomes. The silent messages from spirit. People would keep wandering into the encampment day and night for the next 2 days. War Turtle had taken on the job of overlooking the encampment and directing traffic to the designated campsites, in between cutting the firewood for the camp with Tim. We affectionately gave War Turtle's wife the name She Who Makes Coffee, as somehow every time we seemed to be running out of steam, she would appear, standing with a cup of coffee or herb tea. The funds for the firewood had not stretched as far as we had hoped, so War Turtle assembled a work crew. They located the appropriate dead trees and eventually had about 12 cords stacked at various locations around the camp. I found myself at a truly interesting site atop a rock outcropping above the encampment. I watched the pickup trucks and the little work groups moving like ants across the meadow below me. In 2 days, we had built a little village that would have been a fine place in the Blackfoot Wilderness or in Sherwood Forest. Teamwork makes the dream work.